My God, what was that? A cure for insomnia has been acquired, and honestly, I'll take that over anything that's happened this season. Yes, that's right, Doctor Who's finale is on the way to ruining my life again, and rampant tiny dong, sorry RTD, has done it again and handed me yet another excuse to drink. Usually drinking is mandatory for survival, sure, but it's supposed to hydrate you, not put you in a medically induced coma. Yet somehow this show keeps confusing emotional stakes with emotional chloroform. I didn't think it could get more limp than that musical detour, but surprise. We found a new depth, and it's somewhere between fan fiction and fever dream. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today I'm looking at and laughing at the collapse of canon, continuity, and coherent storytelling, all bundled into one soulless mess they dare call a finale. Let's slither into part one of this week's disaster piece. In Bavaria, 1865, the Rani snatches a freshly born god named Desiderium, who has the power to reshape reality with wishes, because of course Doctor Who is now Fairly Odd Parents meets WandaVision. Cut to May 23rd, 2025, where the Doctor and Belinda, yes Belinda, don't think about it too hard, wake up, married with a baby named Poppy. Reality's been rewritten into a utopian lie, courtesy of the Rani, who's now cosplaying as a Saturday morning cartoon villain. The world is overseen by a bloke named Conrad Clark, who broadcasts fairy tales of the Doctor and Time Lords like propaganda, using Desiderium's power to rewrite Earth like a giant brainwashing bedtime story. Ruby Sunday is the only one who realizes something is off, but like Cassandra in a gaslit Greek tragedy, no one believes her. The Doctor, going by John Smith, works at a version of UNIT that's been reduced to an insurance company, because nothing says high-stakes sci-fi like paperwork and policy renewals. Belinda starts questioning reality when she can't remember giving birth to Poppy. A rare moment of logic, I must say. Meanwhile, Ruby tracks down Shirley Bingham, who's now living in a makeshift refugee camp with disabled citizens who were, naturally, the only ones who saw through the charade. Yes, RTD decided subtlety was for cowards and went full, here's the allegory with neon lights. The Doctor finally gets a wake-up call via Conrad's corrupted broadcast, showing glimpses of Susan Foreman, because name-dropping legacy characters is easier than writing them, and Rogue, who yells at him that this isn't real. He tells Belinda, who responds in true modern Who fashion by calling the cops. They're arrested by Mrs. Flood, now the Rani's personal attack dog, and taken to a bone fortress hovering over London. Yes, you heard that right, a bone fortress. RTD must have had gothic nonsense on his bingo card this week. Meanwhile, Ruby and Shirley try to hijack Conrad's next broadcast using a UNIT tablet because nothing screams epic sci-fi showdown like an iPad. Inside the fortress, the Rani delivers the usual villain monologue and reveals her grand plan. Use the Doctor's desperation to return Belinda home to summon Omega back from the Underverse by collapsing the corrupted reality. All at once, it's convoluted, lazy, and steeped in fake grandeur. And this is where RTD commits canon sacrilege. Let's talk Omega. No, not the wish-upon-a-star demigod he seems to be now. I mean the real Omega. Born as Palix, also known as the Engineer Omega and even Ohm to some, he was one of the founders of Time Lord Society, the founder. A genius whose sacrifice gave Gallifrey the power of time travel, and what was his reward? Eternal damnation, lost in the antimatter universe, body destroyed, surviving only as willpower, twisted by centuries of isolation. He wasn't just another villain, he was tragedy incarnate. He blamed the Time Lords for abandoning him and nearly destroyed the universe in his rage. That was Omega, a fallen god, not a plot device to shove in for end-of-season spectacle. And then there's the Rani, originally a cold, clinical biochemist with no emotional ties or thirst for power, just scientific obsession. What made her brilliant was her moral indifference. She wasn't evil for evil's sake, she just didn't care. You know who would have worked in her place? The Master, because the Master was chaos. But he's been used to death, and we've done this dance before. RTD doesn't build on these characters. He rewrites them. He strips them of complexity and rebrands them as whatever he needs for this week's big moment. And And that's not just lazy, it's insulting. What we've got here is another story that doesn't add to the legacy, it subtracts. It doesn't evolve the mythos, it hijacks it, paints over it and calls it progress. Rewriting characters doesn't enrich them, it turns them into hollow echoes of what they were, devoid of nuance, reduced to slogans and special effects. And for what? This episode is filler, it's checkbox storytelling, it's skippable, it's the TV equivalent of that friend who loudly tells a joke you told last year and claims it as their own. Nothing about it feels necessary, nothing about it feels earned. And once again, we're staring down a finale that isn't exciting or conclusive. It's just noise. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where, naturally, I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.